Hello Red Case listeners, welcome back to our channel, where we dive into the darkest true crime cases from around the world. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. We hope you are all in good health and far away from danger. Because today's story, it comes from a place where family dinners turned deadly. Where tea meant more than just comfort. And where one woman, behind her gentle smile, carried a secret so horrifying, it shook the entire nation of India. This is the story of Jolly Joseph, known as the Cyanide Widow of Kerala, a mother, a wife, a devout Christian, and a suspected serial killer. Let's begin. Kudathai, a small village nestled in the district of Kozhikode in Kerala, India. It's a quiet place. Coconut trees sway in the humid air. The smell of spices lingers in the breeze. People know each other here. Families have lived here for generations, and among them was the Ponomatum family, a well-respected, God-fearing household. Teachers, bankers, churchgoers. One of those families people point to and say, they've got it all. At the heart of this family was a woman named Jolly Joseph, or simply, Jolly. To the outside world, Jolly was the perfect daughter-in-law. Always smiling. Devoted to her husband, Roy Thomas. Kind to her in-laws. She even told people she was a college lecturer, but behind that soft-spoken charm lay something darker. October 2002, it started with the death of Jolly's husband, Roy Thomas, a mild-mannered man in his 30s. Roy had dinner with the family that evening. Jolly had prepared a delicious beef dish. They all ate. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but not long after, Roy began vomiting uncontrollably. He collapsed, foaming at the mouth. By the time he reached the hospital, he was dead. The cause? The post-mortem listed it as suicide by poisoning. The family said Roy had been depressed due to joblessness and debts. Jolly cried, hugged everyone. She wore white. She wept at church. She clutched her Bible and said, "The Lord has taken him." And the village moved on. No one suspected a thing, not yet. Fast forward to 2008, 6 years had passed. Jolly was now the widowed daughter-in-law still living in the same house. Then, tragedy struck again. Anama Thomas, Roy's mother, the strong matriarch of the family, suddenly collapsed after drinking a glass of water Jolly gave her. She died within minutes. Again, the cause was ruled as heart failure. Jolly organized everything. The funeral, the prayers. She took care of her father-in-law, Tom Thomas. The community whispered, "She's such a devoted woman. God bless her." No one thought to ask, why were people dying around her? Because who would suspect the cheerful, church-going widow? In 2011, Jolly became the full matriarch of the house, because that year, Tom Thomas, her father-in-law, also died. Just like his wife. Just like his son, collapsed and died. Right after having his morning tea. Prepared, of course, by Jolly. This time, some murmurs began in the village. 3 deaths. All from the same house. All sudden. But Jolly explained, it's just God's will. Maybe there's something in our fate. She now lived alone in the large house, owned it, controlled it, and behind closed doors. She began forging documents, faking job titles, telling people she was a professor at NIT Calicut, wearing expensive clothes, living like royalty, funded by pensions, properties, death. This was the turning point. In 2014, Jolly was visiting the home of Siley and Sharju Zacharias, her new relatives by marriage. Their son, Alphine, was just a toddler. A bubbly, curious little boy. That day, Jolly gave him a piece of bread and chicken curry. Minutes later, Alphine began choking. He turned blue. Died on the way to the hospital. This time, something didn't feel right. Siley, the child's mother, was devastated. And she noticed something that made her uneasy. Jolly never shed a tear, not one. 2 years after Alphine's death, his mother, Siley, also died. She had been depressed. She had stopped trusting anyone. Then one day, she had a glass of holy water that Jolly brought her. Moments later, she collapsed, gone, dead. Jolly told Shaju, she's in a better place now. And within a year, she married Shaju Zacharias, the widowed father of the boy who had died. The husband of the woman who had collapsed, yes. She married him. People in the village were stunned. But they didn't dare question it. After all, she had become a respected figure. A lecturer, she said. A property owner. A woman of strength, but secrets don't stay buried forever. The year was 2019. By now, 6 people connected to Jolly Joseph had died mysteriously. Her husband, in-laws, nephew, a cousin's wife, and even a toddler, but the whispers finally began turning into suspicion. Roho Matthew, Roy Thomas' younger brother, had long been unsettled by the string of deaths. He lived in the United States, far from Kudathai. But something about the family's tragedies kept gnawing at him. 6 deaths, over 17 years. All related to Jolly. Coincidence? He started asking questions. Quietly, carefully. He reached out to relatives. He noticed something strange. Every time someone died, Jolly was present. Not just present, but often the one who served food, or drink, or medicine, and every time, she was the first to declare what had happened. Heart attack. Suicide. Depression. She always had an answer. Always calm. Always composed, but now, people were beginning to see the cracks. Then came the discovery that broke the case wide open. Roho wanted to retrieve his brother Roy's post-mortem report, just to check. He requested a copy from the local police. What he found was shocking. Roy's stomach contents tested positive for cyanide. But instead of triggering a full investigation, the death had simply been declared a suicide. Just like that. Case closed. Why? Because Jolly told police Roy had financial problems. She said he'd attempted suicide before. And the family trusted her. But now, with this new information, Roho went to the police again. This time, they listened. Under pressure, police did something unthinkable. They obtained permission to exhume all 6 bodies from their graves, some buried for over a decade. Nighttime. Heavy rainfall. Men in gloves. The graveyard in Kudathai was lit with harsh lights and media vans buzzing nearby. One by one, they opened the coffins, and what forensic teams found next was horrifying. All 6 bodies contained traces of cyanide, even the toddler, Alphine. The pattern was unmistakable. Every single victim had either eaten or drunk something shortly before death, something that Jolly had prepared. It was no longer just suspicion, it was serial murder. But one question haunted investigators. Where did Jolly get cyanide? Cyanide isn't something you find at a grocery store, but in Kerala, goldsmiths often use it to clean jewelry. And it turned out, Jolly had connections to 2 jewelry workers. Further digging revealed that Ms. Matthew, a close associate of Jolly's, had helped her obtain the chemical, possibly without knowing its purpose. One goldsmith later told police she said she needed it for cleaning ornaments. I never asked more. But Jolly knew exactly what she was doing. She used the colorless, bitter chemical in tea, in water, in food, even in holy water. Calculated. Cold. Rehearsed. October 5th, 2019, Jolly Joseph was finally arrested. Police picked her up quietly from her home. She didn't resist. She smiled, wore a green churidar, her hair neatly tied. She even asked, "Am I going to be in the news?" The police took her, along with two others, the jewelry shop worker and another accomplice, into custody. But it was during interrogation that the mask slipped. After hours of questioning, Jolly confessed. She admitted to all 6 murders. Methodically, without emotion. Why? Because she wanted control. She wanted the house, the property, the money. And in her own words, she wanted respect. She believed if she removed the obstacles, slowly, one by one, she would finally be free. The story broke across India like wildfire. Serial killer in Kerala. Cyanide widow arrested. Every news channel ran the story. Villagers gathered outside her house. Journalists swarmed the station. Talk shows debated how a woman so polite and intelligent could hide such evil. But behind all that media storm lay 6 grieving families, mothers, fathers, husbands, children. They had trusted Jolly, loved her, and she had poisoned them. The nation wasn't just horrified, they were betrayed. As of today, Jolly Joseph is still awaiting trial. The case has seen many delays, including legal motions, mental health evaluations, and procedural reviews. She has not yet been convicted, but remains in judicial custody at a women's prison in Kozhikode. She has denied some parts of her confession in later statements. Her lawyers argue she was pressured, but investigators, and the people of Kudathai, believe there is no doubt. Too many coincidences, too many deaths, too much poison. In the end, the case of Jolly Joseph is not just about murder, it's about deception. A woman who pretended to be a teacher, a saint, a grieving widow, all while slowly killing the people closest to her. It's about how sometimes evil doesn't shout, it whispers, it cooks your food, pours your tea, hugs your child, and smiles. Thank you for watching today's case. If you found this story chilling, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime cases from around the world. Let us know in the comments, was Jolly Joseph a psychopath? Or a woman twisted by ambition and greed? Until next time. Stay safe, stay aware, and don't trust the tea too easily.